We are going to be doing a little bit of practical tonight. So I don't know if you've got sort of trainers on, etc. All the better. Fantastic. I'm Neil, by the way, so I'm a personal trainer and strength and conditioning coach. I do a lot of work with fit mums and various little projects that we've got sort of going on with fit mums at the moment. So basically, yeah, the idea of tonight, I'm just going to have a little chat about sort of the benefits of training, really, benefits of exercise. And we're going to sort of go through those benefits, both of resistance training, which is extremely sort of important as we get older, but also the obviously the cardiovascular side of it as well. So we'll have a chat. We'll have a chat about that, little presentation on that, and then we're going to go into a bit of a practical element as well. So just talking about what we're going to do, we're going to have a little sort of 5-minute warm up. I don't know how many of you were around on when we did a little taste session. I think it was back in January. It seems a long time ago now. It seems taking a long time for this to come around, but we did a little sort of 5-minute warm up. So we'll go through that again. Just remember, work to your sort of own intensity on anything that we are doing. I'll be doing sort of demos and stuff like that. And you can sort of watch me and sort of see what I'm doing. But obviously work to an own intensity. Don't want anybody getting injured or anything tonight. And if you have any questions, as Sarah sort of said, you can always sort of ask us any questions that you need to. So we're going to be doing a 5-minute warm up. We're going to be doing a little resistance session, and then we'll finish off with a bit more sort of higher intensity stroke resistance together. Okay, just on what Sarah was saying earlier on, actually, I know Carly from, I've met her a few times. She's one of my, she's an Olympic weightlifter as well, and I do a bit of Olympic weightlifting with her from time to time, so I do know. So she's very good, so she'll have a chat next week to you about the nutrition as well. So I've done this little presentation, guys, so I'm just going to try and get up this share screen. Okay, 1 minute. Typically me, he's just disappeared. Spot on. Let's go from the beginning. Spot on. Can everybody still see me and still hear me? Perfect. Okay. So, as I say, two sort of headings really to this. The first one I'm going to sort of talk about resistance training, because it's something that when we do exercise, I think the first thing we generally think of is cardiovascular exercise. We think about running, think about sort of walking, and getting our heart rate up. But certainly, in terms of sort of bone health, etc., and as we get older, the resistance training is absolutely massive. And although it's very, very important to have a good all-round fitness level, probably the resistance training does become increasingly important. So I've just got a little presentation on the resistance training, then we're going to go sort of further on and go into the cardiovascular training, and we'll work through that. So just starting with resistance training then, guys. So just the benefits that you will find by a good sort of resistance training program, and this can just be body weight. Doesn't have to be heavy weights or anything like that. Obviously, you can use dumbbells. You can implement sort of resistance bands and stuff like that. But by resistance training, really at the moment, I'm just sort of talking about body weight stuff that we can do that will improve our lives, really. So the first benefit of them really is enhancing mood and reducing stress levels. So obviously when you're exercising, you release endorphins. Endorphins, really important, feel good hormone, and they just make you feel better. It helps if you've got sort of any pain and stuff like that. It can even help sort of reduce pain levels. So massive thing of resistance training is this release of endorphins. I think the other thing with it as well is you find if you do sort of progress through a program of resistance training, you become stronger. Your confidence levels actually go up as well. So you intensify, you feel stronger, and you generally feel better about yourself. So first benefit of resistance training. The second one is fat loss and weight control. You don't necessarily want to lose weight. You might want to lose weight, but by partaking sort of in a resistance training program, you really, as you increase your muscle volume, what you're basically doing is increasing your metabolism as well. If you're increasing metabolism, what's happening then? You're burning more calories through the day, as you can see, if you can gain an extra pound of muscle over the course of the day, you're going to be burning sort of 30 to 50 more calories a day. That's slightly different to cardiovascular training. A lot of cardiovascular training, you'll burn calories as you go. With resistance training, you're going to burn more calories actually after and throughout the day. Okay. The other thing that you're going to get from your resistance training is a reduced risk of injury. As well as increasing your muscle, you strengthen your muscles. You also, a large part of it is increasing the strength in your tendons and in your joints and around the joints. And also, which is massively important, increasing the strength in your bones. So your bone structure becomes stronger. Once again, risk of osteoporosis is there as we sort of get older, so that reduces your chance of sort of fractures and breaks. People often wonder, and I think sort of ladies in particular often think that they don't want to do sort of resistance training for the fear of sort of bulking up and becoming sort of muscle bound and becoming sort of large with it. That's something that is not going to happen unless you actually want it to happen, with sort of massive amounts of calories and actually eating to try and bulk up. It's not going to happen. You don't have enough sort of testosterone in the system. I think you've got about 10% of what males have got, and it's testosterone is that bodybuilding drug which will basically enable you to build big muscles. What you will get is you'll get stronger and you'll become more toned, but there's no need to sort of worry about bulking up on that one. So just moving on then, just move my thing across. So a decent resistance training program, which you've just put up here, you'd be looking at doing something for sort of 2 to 3 times a week, probably for around 30 minutes. The way I'd like to structure this is to work all the major muscle groups and to actually just break it down into movements. It's the simplest way of doing it. And if you break it down into movements, you know that you are working everything. So I've just put on the side as an example, and this is what we're going to do sort of during the practical element. We'll be doing a push, which is basically a press up. We'll be doing a pull. A pull can be a little bit more tricky because you do need a resistance band for, but I will show you that one. A brace, which can be just a plank position, a squat, and a hinge. Okay, a hinge would be a glute bridge, or if anybody's sort of more into the resistance training, that could be a deadlift or a Romanian deadlift. But if you can work those sort of 5 exercises, I put lunge in brackets because you could interchange that as well, but if you could work those 5 exercises, you would basically be having a full body workout, and you know you've got all your boxes covered on that one. Okay. Let me go back. Don't know, I'll go back now. There we go. So just got cardiovascular as well, just sort of working what cardiovascular exercise is doing for you. Basically, when you do some cardiovascular exercise, your heart rate speeds up, obviously. What that's doing is in all essence making your heart stronger. So you can almost say that sort of cardiovascular exercise is resistance training for your heart. Your heart is a muscle. It becomes stronger. It becomes more efficient at driving blood around your body. And obviously you get better cardiovascular health because of that. Also, when we're doing cardiovascular training, we do have that increase in metabolism. I said earlier on that when you're doing sort of your steady runs, etc., you tend to get the effect while you're actually running. If you're doing HIIT training, so if you're doing something where you're getting a really high sort of heart rate, what you find is then throughout the day, after you've finished the exercise, you've still got that raised metabolism, and you will still be burning extra calories during the day as well. That's when you get to sort of these sort of highest peak sort of heart rates. Once again, with your cardiovascular exercise, we're looking at the sort of enhanced mood and reduce stress as you release endorphins. I know I usually go out for a run on Sunday, and I didn't get out this week. I was sat doing some work, and I didn't get out for me run. And I was sort of grumpy all day, so much so that my daughter commented on it. So it makes a huge difference, and I can't sort of emphasise enough just what a difference it makes to your mood if you do some exercise. The other thing as well, obviously, and this is with both types of exercise, both your cardiovascular and your resistance training, is management and a big reduction in the chance of diabetes. Is controlling blood sugar levels in your bloodstream, obviously, which is massive, and it can really help and sort of on the onset of diabetes, and when you are actually, if you are sort of diabetic. So once again, just go through what you would recommend really for that. It'd be probably about an hour and a half, something like that, of moderate intensity exercise. But you would look at increasing your overall exercise. That can be walking to work, that can be doing anything else on top of that as well. An hour and a quarter vigorous intensity exercise, so that would be more running. If we say moderate intensity would be sort of brisk walking, we could say that 1.25 hours of vigorous intensity would be more like running, or you could look at sort of an hour of HIIT training, sort of broken down into smaller sections. So in total, that'd be looking at something like 3 hours of steady state exercise plus your resistance sessions, 2 3/4 vigorous plus resistance sessions, 2.5 HIIT plus resistance. That'd be sort of a decent starting point to look at for a good dose at the moment. I've just put on there as well, plus making changes to your usual activity, so working more to work and just becoming more active in general. Just on that though, you often find that people say, oh, well, if I can't get everything in, I'm not going to do anything. And that's not the point either. The point is that anything is always better to do than nothing. Okay. So I think we'll probably just a couple more slides. I think, Sarah, have you done that yoga? Did you do a yoga session online?
Yes, we did. We did yoga and Pilates as well.
That's fantastic. Yeah. So I was just going to say on here as well, obviously, in with the whole sort of picture as well, balance and flexibility is massive. So yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi. But also sort of just stretching after sessions as well. You can spend sort of 5 minutes, 10 minutes stretching after you've done a session, and you can that is going to add to your stretching sessions. So we're going to go on to a practical part of the session now. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do a 7-minute warm-up. So we'll just get your heart rate up, get the blood flowing, get a little bit of a sweat on. I hope you're in your PE kit. It is just 7 minutes, but it can be used just as a standalone sort of session as well. It's something you could just sort of fit in and then sort of crack on with the rest of your day. So we've got the warm up, 7-minute warm up. Then we're going to go through a little resistance session. we've got in there, we're going to have it movement based. So we've got those categories that I talked about earlier. We're going to have the squat, we're going to have the push, we're going to have the pull, we're going to have a hinge, and we're going to have a brace in there. Okay, and I'll demonstrate sort of a lunge as well. Then 5 minutes or so, we'll do a cardio session with a little bit of resistance mixed into that. So that's more of a HIIT type session. And then we can finish off with some stretching. Okay. Does that make sense to anybody? Everybody? Perfect. Has anybody got any questions? No? All okay? Cool. Okie dokie. Right. So in which case then, I will stop the share of the screen. Hopefully I won't lose everybody. Spot on. Okay, right. So if you stand up for me again, guys, and we're going to go into this little warm up then. So as I say, we're going to do 7 minutes. And all we are going to do, we're just going to start off with just a little march on the spot. Let me move my camera back. Spot on. So we're just going to start off just with a little march on the spot. What we're aiming to do here is increase the range of motion through your shoulder, through your hip. That's why I'm looking at getting my knees up just to parallel with the ground and my shoulders up to parallel, so my arms up to parallel with my shoulders. Okay, we're just going to march like this just for another 10 seconds or so. And then from there, we're just going to start rotating our arms forwards. I'm leading with my little finger. And then I'm rotating backwards. So really waking up now the shoulders. Okay, and then from there, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have my arms out. So I've got the top of my arms parallel with my shoulders, and I've got my lower arm 90 degrees. I'm just going to rotate forwards and backwards. So in this position here. And then last one for the shoulders, then we're just going to come from here, I'm just going to come up above your head and slide back down. I'm looking at keeping my shoulder blades pinched together while I'm doing this one. Spot on. Then from there, just into a little jog on the spot, still with those arms moving. I'm just going to move my clock. So just with those arms moving, and just starting to bring the heart rate up. Good stuff. And from there, just nice and lightly, so I don't want any impact on this, I'm just 2 feet together, just bouncing or skipping on the spot, but I'm not really coming off the ground. I'm just waking up my calves and my ankles. Spot on, then back to you on the spot. Good stuff. Okay, and from there then, guys, I've got a little cone in front of me. So this cone, I'm going to make some little circles clockwise around it. So it's just facing towards the camera, coming round, so I'm now moving in all directions. Down to the right. Good stuff. And then we're going back to the left. So it's now anti-clockwise. I always like moving in more than one direction because we always tend to do everything in a forward plane. It's really nice to move in sideways. The muscles appreciate it. Okay, so back into jumping the spot. Just starting to bring the knees up that little bit higher there. Good stuff. Right, from there, you can slow it back down. A little bit of balance work. So what I want you to do, left foot on the ground, left leg on the ground. Going to bring the right leg up. And we're just going to rotate out and back. Okay, up round and back, up, round, down. And we've got 5 of these on the right side and 5 on the left side. Good stuff. And then back to your jog. Okay, and then we're going to get hands back onto our hips and we're going to go into a lunge out to the side. Nice stretch through the adductors. Sorry if I'm disappearing behind the plyo block on this right side. And across. And we're going to do 5 of these to each side. That's 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. Spot on. Then back to your jog. And we're picking up that intensity again now. So we've got a couple of minutes now left of the warm up. So what I want now, we've got high knees, but we're just going to move a few steps to the right, a few steps to the left, a few to the right, a few to the left. Back to the right. Good work. Okay, then back to the middle. And then just a few strolls forwards and back. Forwards, back. Forwards, back. Good stuff. Okay, right, back onto the spot. Hands out in front. Just going to drop down into some squats. Don't worry too much about your depth. We're looking at warming up. But hips sit back. Back up. Spot on, okay, back onto the spot. Good, right, so we've got another 30 seconds of this warm up then. So we've just got 10 seconds at this steady pace running. Okay, so we're going to pick it up the pace in 3, 2, 1, pick the pace up. And then for the last 10 seconds, we're going to go with lower knees or just quick contacts with the ground. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go. So quick contacts. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover there. Spot on. Good stuff. Okay, guys. So we should feel warmed up there. I know that I feel warmed up there. Good stuff. Is everybody okay? Can I just have a thumbs up or something from anybody? Just check you're all okay. Spot on. Thumbs up going there. Excellent. Are we all sweating a little bit? Have we all got our heart rate up a little bit now? Yeah, do you feel that we've got the heart rate up? Excellent. Good stuff. Okay, right then. So when I was talking earlier about sort of resistance training, we're going through sort of the various different movement patterns. Okay, I'm just going to get my notes here, sorry. So the first one, obviously the simplest push that you can do, which is going to work the front of your body, it's going to work your chest. The simplest exercise that you can do is a press up. Now, a floor press up is quite there might be some of you are absolutely fine with the floor press up, that's excellent. It is actually quite a difficult exercise. To do it right and to do it perfectly is quite a difficult exercise. So the way we can scale it is we can go down onto our knees in a press up, but the way I prefer to scale it is to go into an incline press up. So I'll just show you what I mean here, and you will have somewhere in your house a surface which you will be able to do these press ups on. So an incline press up, I've got my hands on this, imagine this is a work surface, kitchen work surface, something. Okay, I'm in this position here, I've got my abs tight, sorry, glutes tight and my abs tight. Okay, and I'm maintaining a solid plank position. Now, that is the most important thing with the press up. What you might see happen a little bit with people, where I have the bottom coming up and the top half dropping, or we might be sagging here this way, putting a lot of pressure on the lower back. That's not, we don't want that at all. What we do want is a nice, strong plank position, so everything's switched on. And we're just going to lower ourselves down to our surface and back up again in that straight line. Okay. And what we're going to do, so this is the first exercise that we're going to do. We're going to do a set of 10 of these. So if you want to find yourself a surface you can work on, just make sure it is stable. And we're going to go into a set of 10. So we're going to go then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So dropping down, elbows tucked in, drive back up. Nice and controlled, so camera 2 down, drive back up. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on. Have a lot of rest there. We'll take 30 seconds rest, then we'll go again on that one. If the surface you're on was too low, you can always look at moving these up, and you can go up even against the wall is an option as well. So the higher the surface that we work on, the slightly easier it is going to be on this one. Okay, right, so we're going to go again in 10 seconds, and let's go into another 10 of these press ups. So, good strong position on the balls of my feet, nice straight lines going on, and we're going to drop in 3, 2, 1, off we go. So, dropping down and driving up. Up. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on. Okay, so we're just doing 2 sets of those. It's important when you're doing those, we don't have the elbows right up here. Okay, we've got them tucked down slightly. And that way it's going to be better for your shoulder. We've got a lot of sort of tendons, ligaments inside the shoulder here. If you're coming up here and then pushing from there, you can cause a bit of an impingement in your shoulder, and you can end up in a little bit of pain. So it's always pushing a little bit lower down, probably I'm around 45 degrees there, and we're pushing from that position. Okay, so that's our push. Okay, the next one we're going to go into, I'm just going to adjust where the camera on this one is. Okay. Spot on. So this one, I've got myself a resistance band for. Now I know you guys probably won't have a resistance band or anything handy, but they're really, really good, because it's very, very difficult to do a pull if you haven't got a resistance band. And there's a couple of ways of working these for this exercise. So the first one is simply arms out in front here, and then all I'm going to do is pull the band apart, squeeze my shoulder blades together, and come back out again. Okay, and what we should be feeling with all pulls are the shoulder blades working. It's not about using the arms, it's about using the muscles in the upper back. So it's the opposite of what we've just done for the press up, which makes it such a good exercise. Everybody's very strong in this pushing plane, but when it comes to pulling, not so much so. So there's that variation where we're just doing a pull apart, squeezing the shoulder blades together and back, squeeze shoulder blades together and back. Or the other variation is if you've got something that you can attach it to that's a sturdy thing, you don't want anything where, like, you don't want a door handle or anything like that might fly off, and you can in essence what you're doing is creating a catapult. We can go into a low position. So I've got this resistance band attached around my treadmill here, And all I'm going to do, same again, but this time I'm going to pull in and squeeze shoulder blades together and back out. Nice and controlled. Squeeze shoulder blades together, back out, shoulder blades together, and back out. Okay, and as I should really be feeling the shoulder blades, scapula, working, coming together on this one. Once again, if you just look at this sort of position, I'm maintaining that good plank position. So even though these exercises are push and a pull, you're still maintaining that tight core. So every exercise is also a core exercise. Okay, so I'm assuming we haven't got bands with us tonight, so I won't go through the full 2 sets of 10 of those. But as I said, they are a really, really handy bit of kit to have. If you haven't got access to a gym, they do a lot to remedy the wrongs of sort of sat all day in this posture here. If you're on a phone or on a computer, coming back here into a pull position does a lot to sort of remedy that. So they are well worth getting. If you want any sort of ideas on which ones to get, you can quite happy to sort of message me afterwards, and we can sort you out. Okay, so that is your push and your pull. The next one we're going to go into is our squat, and we're going to go into a squat like we did in the warm-up. Let me just move my back. So the way I like to set up for a squat is we're going to go with our hands out in front. This is called the zombie squat because of the arms. So arms out in front in a zombie position. Okay, once again, I'm tightening up my abs and my glutes. So I'm in this straight line here again. I've got a good posture to start off with. I'm going to start this squat by setting my hips back. So I'm sitting back at the hips and then driving up, squeezing my glutes. Okay, down. So you see all the time my back is staying in a neutral position. I'm not letting myself come over like this. My back is staying in a neutral position. Okay, and 2 sets of 10 of these to start off with, guys. So we can all do these together. So when you're ready, we'll go into this one. So arms out in front, sitting down into your squat, and off we go. So that's 1, and drive up. Slowly on the way down, and drive up. That's 2, down, drive up, down, drive up, down, drive up. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10. Spot on. Take a rest there. We'll have a rest. We'll give it 30 seconds, and then we will go into the next one, which is another set of squats, another 10 squats. So squats tend to be a bit more front side dominant, a bit more sort of quad dominant, like your pushes are. And then the next one that we're going to do, which is going to be a hinge, tends to be a bit more backside of your body dominant, the same as your pulls are. So you work 2 exercises for the front of your body, 2 exercises for the back of your body. Okay, right, we're going to go back into this squat again. So feet out around shoulder width, chest up, and just dropping down into that squat. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on. Good stuff. Okay, right, have a little rest there. Just give yourself sort of a minute or so before we go to the next category, which is going to be, like I said, it's going to be our hinge, which is going to be our glute bridge. So, glute bridge then. What we're going to do, we're going to lay on our back. Okay, we're on the ground. I've got my heels tucked in towards my bum. Okay. I've got my hands across my shoulders. I'm going to really tighten my abs up again. Once again, every exercise really important to tighten the abs up, okay? So we don't want our back hyperextending, flexing, hyperextending. So keeping the abs tight and squeezing the glutes is going to hold us in that decent posture. Okay, so we've got arms across our shoulders, heels tucked in. All I'm going to do is drive up through my heels by squeezing my glutes again at the top, and come back down. Okay, you can even lift your toes off the ground on this one, and that's just going to help to get this working a little bit more. You can actually experiment. If you push through your toes, you tend to feel it in the front of your body a bit more in the quads. Okay, so but we're looking to work the glutes and the hammies to a certain extent. Okay, so we're going to go to 10 of these guys. So abs nice and tight, driving up, off we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on. You can have a little rest there. We'll give it 30 seconds and we'll go into another set of those. And once again, you should really think about clenching your bum as you drive up on that one, and then again at the top. So we're going to go again in 10 seconds. So we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So drive up and down, up and down, up. Squeeze bum, down, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more, 10, spot on, good stuff, and stand yourself up from there. As I say, you should be really feeling that across your bum and not into your lower back, okay? If you're feeling it because your lower back, you're probably not squeezing your glutes hard enough. You're not utilising your glutes to do the movement. So it's just that mind-muscle connection, really, that we're working on there. Okay, so the next one we're going to go down to is into our brace position. And this is just a plank, basically. So like with the press up, if you need to, you can scale this. You can actually do this on an incline in this position here. So you're maintaining that straight position and you're keeping everything really nice and tight through the core. Here I'm clenching my core now. I can hit myself in the stomach and I'm really, really tight, but I'm still able to speak as well. That's the key. If you can speak, you can breathe, okay? If you're on mute, you can actually speak to yourself while you're doing this plank. It's always a good little exercise. But the way I like to start for a plank, we're going to do 3 lots of 20 seconds, and we're going to do that twice, is arms out in front like a railway track. So we'll be in this position here, okay? We're going to come back. I'm going to come down onto the ground. I'm going to tighten everything up, hips down, and keep everything as tight as I can. So once again, that's my bum, that's my abs, as tight as I can, and I'm going to maintain that neutral back position all the way through. All we're going to do, we're going to do 3 sets of 20 seconds on these, with 10 seconds recovery in between. Okay, if you need to stop before the 20 seconds, stop before the 20 seconds. If you start feeling it in your lower back and you're sagging, that's fine. Just drop out of it, reset yourself, and go back up again. Okay, so we're going to go into this first one then, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So 20 seconds in that brace position. Everything nice and tight. Have a little chat with yourself. Just check that you're breathing. Good stuff. We've got another 10 seconds. So we have got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop down to your knees. 10 seconds, then we're going to come back up again. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back up again. So squeezing, abs glutes. Everything switched on. So we have got another 10 seconds. So we've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We cover there, and then we've got one more of these coming up. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go again. So maintain abs glutes. 5 seconds in. 10 seconds in. 15 seconds in. So you've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover there. Spot on. Good stuff. So, same with that exercise, what we did, we broke it down into 3 lots of 20 seconds. The aim would be, over time, obviously, to make that so you're into that plank position nice and solid for a minute. Personally, with planks, once you get to that minute, I think there's other stuff that you can do that will give you greater benefit than holding the plank for, God knows how long the record is, it's a long time. But if you can hold for a minute, there's other stuff you can move on to that's going to be better for your abs than just holding the plank indefinitely. Good stuff. Okay, so we've worked through basically all those movements now. So I know that we've actually worked every muscle in our body, which is just a great way of sort of doing things. Get yourself a little drink, and then we'll just go into another way of doing it, just without getting our heart rate up a little bit too. Once again, just check that everybody is okay. Yeah, good stuff. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good stuff. Excellent. Yeah, nice to see. I'm glad there's no thumbs down anyway, because that wouldn't be good. Spot on. Right. So, what we're going to do then on this one, we're going to mix some of those movements we've just done into with some cardio as well. Okay. So I'm actually going to set up a step for this one. You can do high knees or anything like that, but you can actually have a step. You can use your bottom step on your stairs as well. Just gives you a bit of a different range of movement, just different exercise to work on. The other thing that you can do when I start talking about scaling those press ups, you can actually do, as long as your feet can touch the bottom of the stairs, you can actually do them on an angle on the stairs as well. And that's actually really good, because when you get down to the bottom step, you know that you've improved your strength in your upper body, so you can work sort of say from step 5 all the way down to step 1, and you can do some step ups in between. So nice little way of getting your heart rate up and getting some resistance working. Okay. So what we're going to do then on this one, and then we'll be stretching. This is only going to take 5 minutes or so, and then we'll be doing some stretching afterwards. So we're going to go into some jogging on the spot for 45 seconds. We're going to go into 12 squats. We're going to go into 45 seconds of step ups. We're going to go into 10 press ups. We're going to go into some lateral jogging again. And then we're going to finish it off with some split squats. That's something we didn't cover, but it's something that if you guys watched, I can sort of explain that as we go. Okay, so when we're ready, let's get going with this little bit of cardio strength work. So we're going to go into our running on the spot in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So 45 seconds. What I meant to say is we're going to have 15 seconds recovery in between each of these little segments. So after 45 seconds jogging on the spot, we're then going to have 15 seconds before we go into our squats. So we have got another 20 seconds. Good work, guys. Once again, just make sure you're doing this at your own intensity. So we've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover there, spot on. Next one then is a set of 10 squats, and we're going to go in 10 seconds. Once again, that was zombie position. Okay, that's just helping us keep our chest up. We're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, off we go. So sit down into the squat. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on. Okay, we've got 15 seconds, and then we're going to go into our step ups. Or if you need to just go with your high knee run, just now go with your high knee run. Okay, but we're going to go then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off you go. So into step ups, you need 45 seconds again. Well then guys, so that's halfway through, so you can swap sides. If you've been leading with one leg, which you often do when you step in, you can swap sides. So we've got another 15 seconds. 10 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover there, spot on. Good stuff. Next one then, we're going to go straight into our press ups. So if you're at your steps, you can try that press up on the steps with your feet down on the bottom layer, obviously, or down on the ground. Going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off go press ups. This is 10 press ups. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Spot on, rest there. I've got another 10 seconds recovery. Then we're going to go into some lateral high knees like we did at warm up. So side to side running. And we're going to go 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So this is movement side to side. And then the last exercise is going to be that split squat, which I will demo in the 15 seconds in between. So basically static, completely static lunge, where you've got 25 seconds. So you've got another 15 seconds. Ten seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spot on. Good stuff. So your split squat, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. And all we're going to do is drop this back knee down to a level that's comfortable and back up. And we're going to do 10 of these on each side. Okay, and we're going to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And swap sides. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, right, 10 seconds. I think we can finish that off with 30 seconds running on the spot. So we're going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So just 30 seconds back onto the spot. So 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, so it's halfway through. So you go another 10 seconds. So you go another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and recover there. Spot on. Good stuff, guys. Should have got your heart rates up a bit. And once again, that's sort of working through every different movement pattern which you can do. So you may have if you're not used to exercise, you may have a couple of little hits tomorrow. But they will go, Spot on, right. So just give it 30 seconds, get yourselves a drink, and then we'll go into the last part of it, which is just going to be those stretches. So I'm just going to adjust my camera. I've certainly had a good workout anyway, thanks guys. Okay, so 15 seconds then we'll go into this stretching. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So all we're going to do first one arm directly out in front and then bring it across the body, bring your shoulders down, and we're just going to use this other arm just to pull in across your chest. So you feel a stretch up there in the back of your shoulder. And your heart rate should be standing now. Okay, and then the other one out in front and across your body, down the back. Spot on. From there, we're going to go with the arm in the air and just bend it back. A little bit of pressure on the front of the elbow or just beneath the elbow and just pushing backwards there. Just applying gentle pressure. And then just swapping sides and third again. Good stuff. And from there then, we're just going to take a wider stance, feet pointing forward, and just come to the side. I'm going to stretch to the inside of the leg on this one. So this is the adductors. And change sides. Spot on. Okay, and then we're going to go onto one leg. So if you need to hold on to something, hold on to something. And we're just going to bring the knees together, grasping hold of your ankle, or your lace on the opposite foot, and just pull up towards your bum. Just stretch through your thigh. On and swap sides. Spot on. Next one is a really nice stretch. You might need something to kneel on there. If you've got a carpet, you'll be okay. But if you're on a hard floor, just be aware of the knee. We're just going to drop that down into that half kneeling position. I've got 90 degrees in this front knee, and I'm squeezing my glutes in the back leg. That way the hip flexor is activated, stretching. I'm getting a real nice stretch through this hip flexor on this side. I don't know if I've emphasised enough tonight, when we're sitting all day at computers or whatever we're doing, it really is a posture killer, both for the shoulders, but also the hips, because we're always in this flex position. So anything that we can do to put us in the opposite position, fully stretch out the hip flexors, is absolutely massive. And this stretch will do just that. And swap sides. So you often see people sort of leaning right back and pushing this knee all the way forward. You don't need to do that. As long as you've got this glute activated, you should feel that stretch. Spot on, and stand up. And then the last one, just lower down, we're just going to do the calves. So you can lean against something if you want, you don't really need to there, just 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, driving the heel down into the ground, stretching through the upper calf muscle on this one. Both feet pointing directly forwards. And swap sides. Spot on. And the last one then, which is probably the most important one of the evening, if you just put your hands out in front, guys, so in this position here, then all we're going to do is give each other a big well done, guys. Good work. I hope you enjoyed that. I know I've certainly got a sweat on, so I hope you feel like you've had a workout there.